Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy George Michael Perez, aka GMike, and y'all already know what it is, baby. Back with another episode of the G Perspective, and I know it's been a little while, but we back on track with it, baby. Please follow me on my socials: TikTok, Instagram, YouTube at GMike Media _, Twitter at George Mike Perez. And then the audio version of the podcast is available on all podcast platforms and streaming on YouTube and now Rumble as well. This week, bringing on an old guest, Erne Valdes, to talk about all there is to talk about on NBA free agency up to this point. It's been exciting. A lot of good things are coming in our way, Heat fans, but we gotta keep watching. Maybe things will happen for us. Maybe they won't. It's gonna be a little heartbreaking if it doesn't, but we got it. We got it. Guys, please subscribe, like, and leave some comments under the video, and let's get it. Erne, what's up, my dog?
What's up, my boy? You know what time it is?
Yeah, boy, we excited over here, baby, because Dame time might be coming to South Beach, baby.
Oh, he's coming. He's coming for sure. It's just we gotta see who we getting rid of, but
yeah, man.
I think it's a done deal. We've been waiting for this for a minute now, so.
Yeah. Before we jump into it, for sure,
Yep.
A lot of NBA free agency has been going down. On Friday, June 30th, yesterday at 6 p.m. is when free agency started. And since the first minute went off the clock, players started going left and right, deciding into teams. And we'll talk about the other players. But right now we got to talk about the recent thing that just happened today. How Dame time, Damian Lillard asked for a trade. Because the Portland Trail Blazers are not doing much to get him some help out there, man. And the top team that he says that he wants to go to is the Miami Heat, baby.
The team.
Yes,
the
sir.
team.
Yes, sir. How you feeling about that?
Man, I'm feeling good about it. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think so the way that it's going, he doesn't really deserve to be there anymore. They're going young. He wants to win. And he deserves to pick where he gets to go. And he wants to come to Miami. He wants to play with his boy Bam. He wants to play with a proven superstar like Jimmy, and he wants to be part of that Heat culture. I don't blame him. Come on now.
Yeah.
Doesn't get better than, he's already 33 years old. He's at the end of his prime. He's still got a couple good years left. So it's time. It's time. So I've heard like guys like Kevin Garnett that he wished he would have left the Timberwolves way earlier. He wished he would have gone to Boston way earlier and really had those 2-3 more years of his prime that he could have been there. They probably could have gotten another championship, stuff like that. So I think it's about time that Dame makes the move.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, I would think, right, you get drafted to a team. Like, let's say we'll put ourselves in their shoes. You get drafted to a team and you're like, damn, I want to thank this team for the opportunity that they give me, drafting me, other people. Imagine, even if you're going down the second round, so many teams passed up on you. You get drafted to that one particular team. And you're like, damn, like I feel very grateful for them taking me. I want to bring them the most success, the most money that they can get. I want to bring them a championship. And I'm pretty sure that's how most players feel.
He's loyal.
Yeah,
I respect that.
Yeah.
Hey, I respect that tremendously. But think about it. He took them to 8 straight playoffs. The last couple of years haven't been going their way. They shut him down last year when they could have probably made a run at a playing game. So he doesn't owe him anything else. He gave him everything he had. He gave him an ultimatum, and I feel like they're both going different directions, and it's a good thing that is happening.
Yeah, because he was talking about how he wanted Jeremy Grant to get re-signed, and then he'll probably stay. And he did get re-signed. He got like 4 years or 5 years for $190 million. Great deal right there for him. By the way, great deal.
Yeah. He's still January.
Yeah, and it's like. Yeah, okay, you bring back Grant, but what else are you going to do? You got to give him another star, because even if you bring in another star, like let's say the top dude that they were talking about taking over there was Paul George, or if not Draymond Green. Let's say you get one of those, right? Which is not going to happen because Draymond Green already re-signed with the Warriors. But let's say it does happen and you bring one of them over there. Even then, you're not gonna get past
They
like
don't,
the second round. So
they're not better than Denver. That's for sure.
no, 100.
Not better
percent
than Sacramento.
They're not better than the Lakers
Yeah,
after
there's too
what the
many good.
Lakers did.
Oh, the Lakers have
Yeah,
stacked
yeah,
up,
yeah,
and they just
yeah,
got Russell Black.
yeah.
So
Facts.
yeah, man, the West is fire. They're amazing. Who? Now that I got a question for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of steering away from Dame.
No, you're good.
Now that the Lakers they got Gabe and they got Russell, they just re-signed them right now, like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Who do you think is starting out there? Who are you gonna put to start out of those two?
Dude, man. Honestly, I would start Gabe Vincent because of what he's done in the postseason this past season, man. But D'Angelo Russell, he's still good. I just feel like the consistency is not there with him. And the same thing with Gabe. Like there's sometimes that Gabe pops up, and then there's other games that he doesn't really do much. So I think it's just gonna be an
That's
uphill
true.
battle between them two. Like it's not gonna be like clear cut who's gonna start. I think it's gonna be a battle from training camp to preseason to regular season, and then hopefully they make the playoffs, which I think they will. But I would say right now, I would give it to Gabe, honestly. Let D.
Same, man. I just hope that a lot of those Heat guys, though, they leave the Heat and they're just not the same. For example,
Yep.
Kendrick Nunn, he went to the Lakers and he kind of died out. We don't really know too much about him right now.
Yeah, he
So
was
yeah,
gone
man,
for
I'm
like the
excited to see
first
what
half of the
happens there.
season.
Yeah, bro. I don't know what happened to Nunn.
It's
He went from
yeah,
scoring like 18 a game
yeah,
to nothing. So hopefully Gabe keeps it going and keeps growing and gets better. And now he's playing with LeBron James, which is huge. Good for him.
yeah. No, his IQ's just
And
gonna
he's in
go
LA.
like
He
five
went from
levels.
Miami to LA. Yeah,
Yeah,
from Miami
literally.
to
Yeah.
LA.
Yeah, bro. But just sticking with Dame and the Portland Trail Blazers. One thing like really expected for Dame to request this trade is because he wanted them to bring in a star, right? But the Portland Trail Blazers, the only way that they can bring in another star was to give up their young talent. Scoot Henderson, they just drafted with third pick. They got Alfred Simons out there, and then Sharon Sharp. And it's like if you give up these players, you're trying to bring in a star, try to help Dame win. Again, I don't think they get past the second round if that happens. So they were like, you know what, we're not gonna give up these young players. So they probably told him like, yo, dude, like honestly, like we're just gonna try and let you go and rebuild.
Yeah, no, the rebuild's been going on. I feel like for the past 2 years already. Now they got a good young core. I don't think that in the draft they expected for Scoot to be there for them at number 3. They're probably Miller was gonna be their choice, and they probably would have traded that away. But I feel like Scoot, if it wasn't for Victor Wembanyama this year, he could have been the first overall pick, without a doubt.
Yeah,
So I feel like they can pass on that situation. He's such a good athlete, decision maker. He's got potential to be a John Morant type of player. So
no
I don't
facts.
think they could pass up on the offer. Dame's already getting older. It's time to move on.
Yeah, man. And honestly, like
I
just
don't think there's anybody that could have grabbed to change his decision.
yeah,
I
no,
feel like he
I
tried.
think they would have to trade away that third pick before the draft.
Yeah, but Scoot, man, he's the future for them.
Yeah, yeah,
They
no
they made
facts.
they made it super clear. Made it super clear. So it was either Scoot or Dame, and they went with Scoot. I don't blame them.
No,
It
I
is what
don't
it
blame
is.
him either. No, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. I think maybe in 5 years, the West is like completely shifted, and the Portland Trailblazers are on top of the West. You never really know. Well, you got this
That's how
young
it
star
usually goes.
talent. You got three young star dudes. Well, future star dudes that can help you win. Might as well take advantage.
That happens with people. That happens with teams all the time. Look at Sacramento now. A couple years ago, Sacramento was nothing. And they made a couple moves. They've grown with their players, and now they're one of the best teams in the West. So that sometimes you got to rebuild, and that's how it goes. It's part of the business, part of the game. So,
Yeah, yeah. Well, hopefully, the Heat can make a trade for Damian Lillard. But right now,
yeah, it's for them to lose. So they got to put a
yeah,
package together that's going to work out because he wants to come here. So I I would say lowball him in the beginning, but like don't lose the opportunity to bring Dame to Miami.
yeah.
That's
Facts.
that's franchise changing. That's like LeBron coming over, maybe not as big, but it's right underneath that.
Yeah,
Shaq,
yeah.
LeBron,
Oh yeah.
Dame. You get me?
Yep.
So keep it going, man. And we're known for making those big moves. Whale hunting. So
The big fish, baby, the big fish. Moby Dick out
Yeah,
here.
yeah, of course.
But right now, just sticking with the Heat, man. Looking at like who they signed. Um, right now, they just signed Thomas Bryant. Let me pull it up so I don't say the wrong
Uh-huh.
thing. For 2 years, 5.4 million. Thomas Bryant is he's a good signee to put
Good backup.
behind Bam. What do you think?
Good backup, man. He's proven he's more athletic. I like Cody Zeller, but in today's NBA, Cody Zeller isn't isn't as productive as he could have been maybe 10 years ago. That big man that's kind of slow that plays back to the basket. That's not really a thing anymore. I feel like Thomas is going to be more athletic. He's going to be able to defend. Maybe not guards, but he could switch on to other players that Cody was just getting. He was just getting beat,
Yeah,
especially in the playoffs. And I showed that we needed a backup. He couldn't stop. Well, anybody could stop Joker, but Bam, I think did a pretty good job, and I think Thomas could match up with a guy like Joker a little bit better than some of the slower big men in the league. Like we had Devin before. I don't think he could match up with the fours and the fives that are in the league nowadays. It's tough. So
yeah.
yeah, that settles our backup position for center. So I think we're set right there.
Yeah, I think he's gonna bring in more hustle for sure, more tenacity than Cody Zetter. I like Cody Zetter. I like what he brought to the table during the postseason. He didn't get as much minutes as I think that he should have, but he made most of his minutes. But I think with Thomas Bryant is gonna
No,
be
yeah,
more
I like
hustle.
it. Very hustle back. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like I like Zeller. I just feel like he just doesn't fit right with us, especially the way we like to play. So I feel like Bam and Thomas are more interchangeable than maybe Zeller and Bam.
hmm hmm
Feel like it matches up a little bit better for us. So that's just my opinion. So
No,
let's
for
see how it
sure.
works out. So this is the exciting part about the off season is that you get to build these teams and then you get to see what happens. So look, last year, we kind of stayed the same. Regular season came through. We thought we were gonna be great. Like we were first in the East the year before that, and then now we're playing a playing team, but we make it all the way to the finals. So it's exciting, man. You never know when these
Very
teams are gonna
exciting.
take off and how people are gonna perform. Injuries are also a big part of it. So yeah, man, this is I feel like the NBA has the best off season, especially after LeBron did the whole like going to South Beach thing. Like every off season in a movie, like there's always something going on, some big names. So yeah, man, it's exciting. I love the NBA off season, way better than baseball and all the other sports, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. And since you said that, it's funny because I was hearing the other day. It's like what players are doing now, right? They're
Mm-hmm.
basically taking on 4 years, 5 years, and taking on the last year as a player option, so that that player option they opt into it, and then they ask for a trade, and they work with the team to get them a trade and whatever. But they still get the money that they're owed, just like how
Yeah,
James Harden did with the Philadelphia 76ers a few days ago. And it's smart.
yeah.
Honestly, it's smart, man. As a
The
player,
players
bro, yo, more
have
power
more
to you,
power.
bro. Yeah.
They have more power. Back in the day, back in the '90s, they had no power. It was all the front office. Whatever they wanted to do with the players, they were literally their property. So now the players have a little bit of push and a little bit of say. If they want to go somewhere, they could make it happen. So I think that's good. There's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion,
Yeah.
for sure.
So another transition that transaction that we did a few days ago, actually yesterday, was trading
Mm-hmm.
away Victor Oladipo and a draft pick for basically compensation, just money for $9.5 million, and I think that's what helped signing Thomas Bryant right now. Because if not,
For
we couldn't
sure.
have money to sign anybody.
Yeah, I feel really bad for Victor, especially after all the injuries that he's gone through. I feel like the Heat fan base is still going to continue to support him. I feel like the whole NBA supports that guy. He's such a good guy. It kind of sucks that it didn't work out, especially with him and Tyler going out in the playoffs and not being able to play, and we could have used them for sure. So it kind of sucks the way it ended, but I wish him the best. And yeah, man, it cleared some room for us to maneuver and make some moves. So I hope he makes a good comeback. He's going back to the Thunder where he did pretty well over there. Um, and yeah, man, he's a vet now, so let's go. I hope the best for him.
Yeah, and he's going back to familiar territory too, the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
mean, they're a young squad for sure, but he could be a veteran there to teach him the ropes and teach him how to win too. He's been on a part of a lot of playoff teams, and you got this guy Chet Holmgren coming back. He could probably be rookie of the year,
Yeah,
maybe top three. You know,
I believe so. I believe him and Victor are the two guys battling, maybe even Scoot. If
I like
to be
Scoot
honest,
being
Shet
number
might,
one, honestly.
yeah, but Shet might have a little bit of a better of a chance because you got to sit down and just watch.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Learn.
I've been through that. I got hurt and I had to watch a whole year of people just playing, and you learn. You know, you ask questions, you pick up on things, and you're already in that locker room with those veteran guys, and you already know how the NBA works. So he's got a little bit of an advantage, in my opinion. So he just has to go in there and perform. And okay, he's got a good team, man. He got a good team. I think Victor could really help him out coming off the bench whenever he gets healthy. And just being in that locker room, being that presence, you know, that's so valuable in the NBA or any sport. Having those guys in your locker room, for example, we just re-signed Kevin Love. Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
You need those guys in the locker room. That's why Udonis Haslem was there in the league for 20 years. When the last 5 he didn't play because you need those veteran presence that's gonna tell the young guys like, hey, bro, what are you doing on Instagram Live
Hit with a
with your
pistol.
gun out or whatever? Exactly. You know, that would have never happened in a place like
Oh
Miami because they
hell
have
no.
those
Hell
guys.
no.
So, yeah, man.
No, and it's funny because I think Kendrick Perkins was the one that said it, but I know there was a NBA analyst that said it that like, yo, John Moran needs to get traded to the Miami Heat because that shit would not fly over there.
Right. I like that they picked up Derrick Rose. You know, and he's going over there now, so he's a good presence to have around, and hopefully he could really help out Ja and those young guys because they have a really good team. They have a really good young core as well.
Yeah, in the beginning, I didn't really make sense of it, of why Derrick Rose would go over there. You know, you got John Moran now. Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart is going to be playing a lot of minutes over there, and he's gonna
Yeah,
be a veteran presence. So I don't want to really understand the Derrick Rose, but then I remember where he went to college, which was Memphis. So maybe he wanted to be
man, he
up
was,
there a little closer. Maybe I don't know. But hey, more
and
power to Derrick
I
Rose,
believe,
man.
yeah, man, he's a veteran guy. He doesn't need to go out there and play 20 minutes a game. You know, he's good coming off the bench and giving those big impactful minutes whenever he can. I know
Yeah.
he's had a bunch of injuries. He doesn't need to be out there all the time. He doesn't need to be one of their guys.
Hmm.
He needs to be a locker room presence guy that's gonna go out there whenever he needs to and gets his opportunity and make some plays, winning plays.
Yeah, facts, facts. But yeah, since we're let's keep this train rolling, man. You keep talking about these free agent
Let's go.
signings. So the top one that everybody was wilding about was Kyrie Irving re-signing with the Dallas Mavericks for 3 years, $126 million. Does
Yep.
Kyrie returning back to the Dallas Mavericks make them, because they didn't even make the playoffs, they didn't even make the play in? Does it make them a
Yeah, man.
contender in the West?
I feel like any team with a top 5 player like Luca is has a chance. It just depends what the guys around him do. But I just don't. Man, Kyrie's awesome. He's an amazing player. He's probably top 10 player in the league when he's healthy and he's doing his thing. But like they're both so ball dominant,
Mm-hmm.
that is hard. Luca had Brunson before that. And you see what Brunson did once he got to run the show with the Knicks, how he's taking off and stuff like that. So I feel like I don't know if they work well together. So we'll have to see. We got such a small sample size last year, so it's not really fair to say. But yeah, man, let's see that he got paid. He's in a good place where he could be low key. He's not in a big market. He could kind of just go out there and play and do his thing. And he's partnered up with, I believe, a top 5 player in the league with Luca. So you always got a chance. Like I said earlier, the West is stacked. So you have no idea what's gonna happen. It's kind of obvious. Denver is the front runner. But after that, everybody's right on their tail. So
Yeah. The thing I do like about Luca and Kyrie still teaming up together is the fact that Kyrie can play the two guard. Even though he's a point guard, he is ball dominant like you're talking about, but he can play off the ball. He knows how to get open without the ball, use the screens, coming down the baseline, getting around to the corner and stuff like that. So I think it would be great. Like you get a full off-season training camp, preseason, and then a full regular season going into the playoffs, because I think they will make the playoffs or even the play-in.
yeah,
You get that chemistry rolling and rolling and rolling. I think Kyrie can take a bunch of shots and Luca can get, like, even though he's already doing it, getting 15 assists a game and shit. I think he can
yeah,
get 20 assists a game because
yeah.
Kyrie's a great spot up shooter, bro. That people don't
Now,
realize that.
Kyrie's one of those guys that he knows how to play ball.
Yeah,
So if he
exactly.
knows that if my role is to be a spot up shooter, run around, and then make plays whenever Luca goes to the bench, he'll do it.
Yeah.
You know, he
Mm-hmm.
knows how to do. That guy is so good that he knows how to do everything on the court. You know, besides maybe defend at a high level, he's all right. He's not really the greatest defender, but on offense, he can do it everything. He can do it
Yeah.
all. You know, there's he could. He's one of those guys that you could grab and put on any team in the NBA. And he's like, okay, that's fine. It'll work out. But I just feel like it's taking it could take away a little bit from his game because he should probably have the ball a lot. You know, he should be the one making the decision sometimes. But let's see. This is the best part about the NBA. We get to see what happens.
I just like when Luca controls the ball because the NBA
Yeah.
is such a fast play pace basketball league
Oh,
that when
he,
Luca has the ball in his
he
hands
plays
and
that.
he's on the court, that whole thing of it being so fast slows the hell down, and
Nah,
he controls everything on the offensive level. Defense, I'm not really going to talk about his defense. But on the offensive
yeah.
level, this guy controls everything that's going on the court. So if you're controlling everything that's going on the court, everybody's playing at your pace, then everything's gonna be so much
Yeah.
smoother for you. So I think if Kyrie controls the ball more and Luka's coming down the court with him, I think it's gonna mess up their flow. But if it's the other way around, I think Kyrie can get open, get these open shots. Like I said, he's a
Yeah.
great spot up shooter, and Luka can find him and other teammates, and
Yeah.
bro, they could win a lot, bro.
Yeah. Kyrie will definitely have to be the Batman. It'll have to be like in the Cavs, how he was the Batman to LeBron. So he just got to be willing to take that role, embrace it, and they got to put defenders around those guys because those are not the best defenders. They need shooters and defenders. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, that's what it's going to come down to. I feel like they're a middle of the pack West team. Definitely a playoff team. I think that they shouldn't be in the playing game. They should definitely be up
No,
there
they should be
because
like
they have
six or
those guys.
five at least.
Yeah, exactly. They shouldn't. If they're in the play-in, then that's that. It wasn't a successful season. You know,
Yeah.
they should definitely be middle of the pack playoff team with a chance to make a run because we've seen Luka get hot in the playoffs and he'll go crazy. You know, he's
Yeah.
fun to watch. So
Mm-hmm.
let's see what happens with them.
Yeah. Next person I wanted to talk about and get your insight on is Draymond Green re-signing with the Golden State Warriors. 4 years, 100. If I'm
Got
not
paid.
mistaken, 101 million. If I'm not mistaken. Me personally, bro, I had the biggest feeling that he was gonna resign back. People were talking about that he might leave to find a bag somewhere else and this and that. And I was like, nah, not really. And then when they traded away Jordan Poole, I was like, oh, he's definitely staying now. He's definitely resigning. What do you think?
Yeah, man. I don't think he was ever gonna leave.
Yeah.
Who's he gonna go to? You get me? That guy
For
is
what? For what?
the heart and soul of that team. You get me?
Yes.
He is their captain. You know, he's not their best player, but he is their captain.
Yes.
You know, they get rid of him, and they're not staying true to their culture and to their fans. So that's good that he got paid. He's coming back. They're gonna try to make another push. Now they got CP3, so that's interesting to see how that works.
Yeah.
But they're giving it one more run to keep that dynasty going because
Yeah, bro.
that is a dynasty, man. So you don't get rid of those guys and just quit on the team. For example, Chicago did that back in the day. You know, when their ownership wanted to get rid of, we all watched The Last Dance, how like they were like, oh, we're gonna spread the team apart.
Well,
And it was
they're trying to get rid of the coach, and they're like, well, if you get rid of the coach, we're all gonna be gone. Fuck this.
yeah, you don't do that.
Nah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
that's a dynasty. So I'm excited that they're making one last push with their guys, and it's fair to them. You know, they deserve it. You know, their fan base deserves it.
Yeah.
And they have a chance. CP3 is a dog. He knows how to control the game. You could have CP3 coming off the bench, and the game could be completely different from that 3-point run and goal, like always running, trying to get those threes, and then CP3 comes into the game and he slows it down for them.
Facts.
That's exciting because they have a good coach in Steve Kerr that can figure some things out.
Yeah.
So they've always been playing one way. Now he's got different routes that he could take with the team, and they have good young guys. They got Kuminga.
Mm-hmm.
They have a good roster. So that's another team that's right under Denver.
Yeah.
You never know.
No, they're still in there. 100%.
I,
They're still in it.
I think they're better than the Lakers. I think they're better than the Lakers. My opinion.
Okay.
I feel like the Lakers are also middle of the pack in the West, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm. You think that it was just like more of a fluke last season?
Not a fluke at all. I feel like they played good. They played to their potential, but I feel like I'm not a big. I know Austin Reeves is good, but like I don't feel like he's that guy that they're like making him out to be. You get me in a way. Like he's
Yeah,
not gonna be the guy that scores 20 a game. You know, in my opinion,
15
he makes
maybe.
good plays. You know, but he hasn't proven that yet like that in a big sample size. And I feel like a lot of these guys that have proven it, that have played well for like 1 year, just getting boom, getting paid, and they're really not stars. They're really like role players in a way.
Like Bruce
But
Brown.
yeah, man,
Bruce
he
Brown
had
just got
one.
2 years, 45 million for the Indiana Pacers. I mean, I get it. I
One
get it, Indiana, but
I get it. I get it too. But think about it. He was put in a system where he had this one role and he exceeded at it.
yep, yep,
It was easy for him to be that player because that's exactly what they asked him to do. And he did it for a couple of months and now he got paid.
now he got paid.
So
Hey,
good for him. Good for
anytime a
him.
player gets paid, or actually
No,
not even a player, anybody, anytime someone gets paid, I'm
anybody.
happy as fuck for them, 100%. I just think that
Yeah, man.
he should have gone the LA Laker route. I don't know about Indiana. Yeah, I guess you got your ring. You know, you're like, you know what? I'm gonna try and
That
get my
offer more
bag.
money.
Yeah, he wanted to secure his bag for sure. He wanted to secure it. Whatever, more power to him. But me personally,
Look at Fred Van.
I'll get the money and I'm still trying to win. Yeah, look at Fred Van Fleet. Exactly.
The
Great bringing
bag.
that up right
The
there.
bag. Those guys' families are set for years because of that. You know, hey, championship is awesome, but especially those guys, they already got one. Go get the bag, man. Go get paid.
Yeah, man.
Forget that.
No, no. And it's
And
like,
they're gonna have a bigger role.
yeah, for sure, bro. Like Kuzma. Kuzma just got the bag
Yeah.
from Washington, and he's like, yo, you know that tweet that he put out. He was like, oh, you know, I'm gonna try and do what I can, and like. I don't know the exact words, but he was just hyping up the Wizards fans, and he's trying to like get to the playoffs and bring them a championship and this and that. And we know as not we're not basic
Yeah.
NBA fans. We know that shit's not gonna happen. But he secured his bag, bro, and more power to him, bro. I love him as a player,
Yeah.
honestly.
No,
What's
yeah,
up?
he's cool. He's good, man. I've always loved him. I wish he would have stayed with the Lakers.
Yeah,
He's a big market player. He doesn't deserve to be with maybe like Washington. You know, that's not really their priority is really not to win a championship. Let's be honest. They proved it when with
yeah,
Beal. They could have built around him,
yep,
and
yep.
they didn't. They
Mm-hmm.
have Beal, they have Westbrook. They had something good going for them, and they don't spend. They don't like to spend the money.
Yeah, that's I
And
guess,
a
bro.
lot of guys don't want to go to DC to play. You know,
I heard.
let's
I
be
mean, I've
honest.
been to DC once, right? And I went there.
I've been to DC.
I think it's pretty dope. It's not bad.
Yeah,
I mean, shit. I've been to worse
yeah,
places.
but it's small. It's small. I know, me too, me too. I feel you, but it's like DC. You know, I've been
Yeah,
there. I spent the
yeah.
4th of July there one time. Some
And
cool
that's what
bars.
that's on
It's not
Tuesday too.
Miami. Yeah, it's not Miami, bro.
Nah,
It's
hell,
not
nothing,
Miami. It's
nothing
not New
mad.
York.
L.A., New York. Nah, of
LA,
course not. Of course not.
it's Texas. And it's not a place with I don't know. I'm really too sure how their tax situation is there, but that's a huge advantage that the Heat have. The no tax. Anybody in Texas, no tax. You go to California, you're gonna get that contract is not as big as you really think it is.
I think it's like
I,
sixty
I'm
percent of that contract gets flushed down the drain.
a lot, huge
Yeah,
percentage of it. So I'm wondering Gabe's contract, how much we offered compared to what they offered him in LA for the money to be,
well,
still
we
more
offered
over
him
there.
8, and
Oh, okay.
they offered him 11.
11, right?
So, but I think for
Yeah.
him it's gonna
Depends on
be
the.
maybe 8.7 or some shit around there that he's actually gonna get.
I feel like the Heat were setting it up. The Heat were setting it up for this Dame situation to happen.
Of course. We're like, you know what,
You
Gabe? We
Gabe
want.
Wilson
Yeah, we're like, yo, Gabe.
yeah.
You know, we
Go ahead.
like
My
you a
bad.
lot, and we want you to stay. But like, if you're not gonna take a pay cut, and we're trying to bring Dame over here, you know the situation. If you're not trying to do that, I'll power to you. Go get your bag, bro. Go to LA. Go learn from the king over there, bro. Yeah.
Go get it, man. Go get money.
But let's talk about
That guy went in 2008.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Now I was gonna say that guy went from 2018 to being a D League guy, and now he got paid. So
Yep.
hey, he's got to be grateful for the organization of Miami to give him the opportunity. So
Yeah, and he went off against Team USA playing for Team Nigeria.
yeah,
He went off against
Nigeria.
them. That boy
Yeah,
was like,
man.
"Hold on, I know all these boys. I played against all these boys. Hold on, I'm gonna show out right now." And that's what's up. Hell yeah,
For,
I
yeah,
like
he's
it.
a baller, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, excited for
Um,
his future.
Before
Go
we
ahead.
get on to this whole Philly situation, let's talk about Fred VanVleet. Boy signed 3 years, 130 million with the Houston Rockets, and that's another player right there that is like secure your bag because he already got a chip with the 2019 Toronto Raptors,
He
and
did.
I've heard him on the Old Man and the Three podcast, the JJ Redick podcast. Great podcast, by the way, if you haven't
He
listened
wanted to
to it.
get him.
And he was on there as a guest, and he was talking about, he's like, yo, look, honestly, if Toronto wants to keep me and they want to give me a bag, I want to stay in Toronto. I don't want to go nowhere else. Like, my family knows everything here. We're pretty familiar and all this stuff. But I'm trying to get paid. I'm trying to get paid out here. And when I heard Houston was a team that was looking at Fred VanVleet, I was like, oh, I know that they're going to give him the bag. I know that's the only team that can really
Yeah.
give him that much money. So, you think it was a good move for him to go over there, or you think he should have either gone to a contender or stay with Toronto?
I think it's a great move for him. That's a crazy amount of that's life changing money for anybody. I don't care who you are. And he's going to a good city. You know, they have some good young players there that he could, kind of build with because he's not an old guy. So he's got a chance to really be the face of that franchise for a little bit and help grow that franchise to what it could be because they have some good young guys, Jalen Green, and some others that are in there that have potential to really be stars. So you got a guy like Fred VanVleet, amazing shooter, a guy that can run the show. He's a great point guard. He defends. He does everything right. Um, the amount of money that he got is crazy to me. Just coming from like, for
Yeah.
example,
Undrafted, by the way, the highest paid undrafted
yeah,
player.
undrafted guy. I don't know how much he's making. There's some guys making 50 million a year right now. Think about it in perspective like this. Back in 2010, when we got LeBron, I think Wade was making about 15 million a year, and LeBron and Bosh are both making like around 19 to 20.
Yeah.
Now these guys he's an all-star player. You get me? All-star caliber player, but he's not going to be an all-star every year. Some of these guys are making 40, 50 million dollars a year.
Yep.
That's crazy. I guess it's inflation or whatever it is.
The TV deal, baby. TV deal.
Or the TV deal, yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But those other guys on the team making 1 mil, Yeah.
Hey, shit, sign me up. Well, I'll be the rebound boy. I'll be the water boy. I'll be be the floor cleaning boy.
Bro.
1 million. Shee. I'm out there.
Man. Yeah, no, I agree with you. But yeah, man, I don't know if that money matches up, but he's an amazing player.
Yeah.
And he could really but they're not gonna make the playoffs in my
Yeah, that's what I
opinion.
was gonna
I don't
ask you.
think
Like,
that
what do you think? How is that situation gonna play out? Like, what is his role, and what are the expectations of the Houston Rockets?
the expectations can't be high. They got a brand new coach, a great coach, whatever, I don't know if he's a great person, whatever it is, whatever he did, but he's a great coach and he proved it. He proved it in Boston. And
Yeah.
Boston for sure wishes they could have still had him, let's
Yep.
be honest. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a brand new situation, first year coach. They have their veteran guy that's gonna run the show and Fred, and they have to build around the young guys. So it's a project. This is not gonna be you can't expect much in their first year for sure, maybe the first 2 years.
Yeah.
After that, once you get to year 3, year 4, and there's no changes, and they're not making the playoffs and this and that, then it's time to let it go. But right now, the expectations are low.
Yeah.
It's hopefully make a playing game, try to sneak into the playoffs somehow, get some playoff experience for those young guys, and let Fred, run the show, and give it some time because they're not going to be an impact. They're not going to be a playoff team all of a sudden just because they got Fred VanVleet. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
Let's give them some time to grow and build around that roster that they have right now, and let those young guys kind of work into their roles and figure out how they fit in the NBA. That's a lot of guys. They get into the NBA, they're super talented, but they don't really know where they fit in. That's why you have like organizations and coaches like Eric Spoelstra that gets these guys that are good at one or two things and they put them in these situations for them to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see what the Rockets could do with that roster that they have, which I think is very promising.
Yeah. I just like the fact that Fred went over there because obviously securing his bag, and I think that he will be a great leader to the young talent that they
Mm-hmm.
have over there. He's gonna show them how to work hard, show them how to win because he's a winner.
That's the
He
type of
won
guy
in
he is.
college. He won
Yeah.
in the NBA. Like he knows what he's doing. So I think it's gonna be a good set for them moving forward, teaching everybody that's
Mhm.
coming in. Maybe they bring in another veteran to help them out. But when it comes to if they're gonna make the playoffs or not, I don't really think so. Maybe in 2 years, maybe they'll officially make the
Exactly.
playoffs again. But as of now, I just think that he's gonna be a good leader moving forward for the Houston Rockets and get them to work as hard as they can for sure.
I agree. I think it's a way better move than if they would have gotten Harden back.
Yeah,
I think it helps them
because he's
in the
younger
long run
too.
a lot
He's younger
better.
too.
Yeah, he's younger and he's more of a leader than, let's be honest, than Harden. Harden is more of, he's probably not an outspoken guy in the locker room. I don't know. I've never been in a locker room with him, but
Yeah.
he probably likes to party. That's what I've heard.
Well,
So
what we've seen
I don't
from
want a
him.
guy. Yeah. For what we've seen, yeah, we probably don't want a guy around those young guys teaching them those type of ways. Even though Harden is such a good player that he could probably go party and still give you 30 and
Oh
10
yeah, it's
assists.
proven. Proven.
Yeah, he's proven it. He could do it. But yeah, I feel like it helps him more in the long run to have a guy like Fred, and I think it's better for Harden to chase that ring with Philly. I feel like he should stay there. He should definitely stay put.
I know. Now that you started that was going to be the last thing that we talked about before we got out of here. So Harden and the Philadelphia 76ers have come to an agreement for him to opt into his last year, which is 34 no, sorry, $35.6 million in his last year of his contract, and they're gonna work together to get him a sign-in trade, just like how Dame's doing with Portland. Now,
Uh-huh.
with Harden, first let me ask you: should he leave Philly?
I don't think he should leave Philly. No, they got something good there. From what I've heard, he pretty much got Doc fired. They didn't work well together. He wanted
That's
to run his
fucked up,
offense.
bro.
It's kind of messed up, but that's what I've heard. That
Yeah,
that
yeah,
he,
no, no,
that
I heard that too, but then I heard other things as well. But if it's that,
yeah.
that's fucked up.
But Doc said it, like Doc kind of said it in a way, like he wanted to run his show. I wish I would have had him earlier in his career where he could have probably listened more. That's literally what he said. So I feel like they got Doc's out. They got Nick Nurse, another good coach. They want to
Great
work
coach,
around.
championship
Yeah,
coach.
he got what he wanted from Philly. He might be upset about some other things or how things have gone in free agency, but they have a really good roster. That they've been playing together for only like 2 years. Let's give it some chance.
Great roster, by the way.
Great roster. Man, they got Tobias Harris as well. That he's not happy. So now they got a new coach coming in. Let's see how things work, how people fit into their roles, and how they could be successful. I hate Philly. Can't stand them. I just don't like Philly sports. I don't like Philly, New York, or Boston sports. I feel like those are our rivals here in Miami.
Yeah.
But I'm a sports fan, and I know that they're a good roster. They're a good team, and they should definitely be top 3 in the East.
And you got the MVP on your team as well, man.
The MVP, should have been Joker in my opinion, but
Okay.
Embiid is a monster, man.
Yeah,
Embiid is a monster.
Yes, bro. You can't deny that. No matter if you thought Joker should have been MVP, you cannot deny that Embiid is a fucking
animal. Animal. He could do it all. Now he needs to, when it comes to the playoffs, he needs to show up. He needs to get down and dirty and be a leader and take accountability. And so does Harden. So
yeah, I think it lies more on Harden than anything, really, because that game 7 against Boston, he only dropped 9 points.
He quit, bro.
How do you drop 9 points, bro?
Yeah, you're that guy. You should have taken control over the game. Yeah. So that's kind of disappointing the way the year ended, but I don't think he should leave. Where else is he gonna go?
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I don't think he should leave because
Clippers maybe.
That's another thing I was gonna say, because I don't think he should leave because there's not gonna be a lot of good destinations for him to actually win a championship. And I know for a fact, obviously I don't talk to the guy, I'm not around him or whatever, but I know for a fact this guy wants a championship for sure. Yeah. And the next best team is gonna be the Clippers. Now, that trade might work out, but I still think that he should stay in Philly. You already got that chemistry going with the MVP. You got a young talent scoring guard in Tyrese Maxey that he's just gonna keep leveling up, and you keep teaching him the rope, and this guy's gonna help you out. You don't have to do as much. You could dish 12 to 13 assists. You keep doing these things. It's gonna help out your team. You're already, like I said, the chemistry is already there. Why are you gonna leave to go to a new team that you gotta build this chemistry again? And then if you don't
Yeah.
like it, you're gonna ask for a fourth
Yeah.
trade in like 5 years.
The grass is not always greener on the other side, man.
Exactly, dude.
Not. Sometimes you gotta stick through the growing pains and get better, and don't make excuses.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I think he should stay put. And dude, there should be the top 5 team in the league easily. You know,
I mean, they were top
MVP,
5
former MVP
in the
Harden.
East.
Yeah, and they have good role players. You know, some guys that have potential to be stars like Maxi. You know, so they have everything there put together to be a championship team.
Yeah.
Now it comes down to leadership, coaching, and people taking accountability and stepping into the roles. Sometimes you got to sacrifice. You see it, every championship team sacrifices. There's always one or two guys that could probably do a little bit more. I could have the ball a little bit more, but they take that lesser role for the betterment of the team. So let's just see how they do
Like
it.
Dwayne Wade back in 2012. He told
Yeah,
LeBron on that vacation, he was like, yo, fuck what happened last year, bro. Hey, this is your team now. I'm going to take a back seat because I know if you're the leader and the captain and the number one player on the court for this team, we're going to win. And that's exactly what happened.
I agree. That's how it has to be. That's the culture that you have to have if you want to win a championship. I feel like Denver has that. The Heat have that. Teams in the past that have won multiple championships, like Golden State, the Spurs. Those are the teams that had those guys that want to win and they know how to win. That's the way to win, you know?
Yeah. Another thing, what would Philly look like if James Harden is gone? What would be their expectations? Well, obviously their expectations would be winning a championship for sure.
So,
but what would be reality for them if Harden is gone and they get some role players in return? Because they're not going to get a star player in return.
yeah. It will come down, I feel like, to how Maxi grows and if he takes that step. You know? We see guys like Tyler Hero have been taking steps every year. I feel like Maxi has done the same. With a bigger role, can Maxi become a star? You know, which he has the potential to do it. I feel like it'll come down to him and Tobias Harris, you know, owning up to his role and excelling at it. But I feel like they still got Embiid, you know.
Yeah.
Surround Embiid with some shooters, some good defenders, some guys with heart and grit that play hard all the time, and you can win a championship. Look at the Heat last year.
AFC.
Undrafted guys, you know, AC all the way to the finals. At the end of the day, it doesn't come down to the star power. It's how the team plays well together, you know. So
just like
I feel
Denver
like
too.
even
Denver, they only had Jokic as a star. I think Jamal Murray should have been an All-Star a few years already, but he's not on paper. So they don't really have all stars like that. But they have 11 players deep that can fucking ball, defend, and score.
Yeah, and they're gonna do their job. They're gonna do it at the best they can do it, whatever level they can do it. But they're gonna play their role and do it right. That's what you need. But yeah, I feel like even if Harden goes away, the Sixers should still be in the mix. You know, Boston, Sixers, Miami. After that, it kind of drops off a little bit, in my opinion. But some of those teams, like the Knicks, they're growing. The Knicks are growing. I like Atlanta, man. I like Trae Young. I think he's good, but they're not up there with those three teams.
No. Don't make the playoffs. Don't make the play.
And my bad. And I forgot about. How could I forget about Giannis and the Bucks, man? That's crazy to me.
Oh yeah, and Brook Lopez just re-signed right now, like a few minutes ago. 2 years.
That's a good team. I'm glad they're running it back because they didn't have a good opportunity with Giannis getting hurt and us sweeping them super fast. Well, not sweeping them, but
gentleman sweep.
Yeah, gentleman sweep super fast. So yeah, man, it wouldn't have been fair if they would have demolished that team because Brook Lopez gives everybody problems. Middleton is a dog. He's a scorer, a guy that can.
He re-signed too.
Yeah, he got paid as well. So I'm glad they're running it back and they're giving Giannis, another opportunity because I feel like the two best players, the three, I'm gonna give them three, is Giannis, Joker, and Embiid. Those are the three best players in the league right now.
Yeah. Yep.
So
top three.
Those guys are always gonna have an opportunity no matter who's around them. But the Bucks have a solid group of guys that have been playing together for a while. So yeah, man, the East is exciting too. It's just not as many teams as the West that are in the mix. but there's 4 or 5 teams in the East that could all get it done. They could all be the best in the East.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's all gonna come down to how they play well together.
Yeah, bro. Oh, well said. Hell yeah, man. Yo, great episode for sure, man. And now we're gonna keep track of what's going on with Damian Lillard out there.
I'm sure there's some stuff I've got. I got to check my Bleacher Report.
I've been on Twitter and stuff. I've been looking and shit.
76ers just signed Patrick Beverly. I don't know how that works.
Nice defensive piece right there. A good veteran presence también. Pero when it comes to scoring, I guess he'll just help out Maxey. Maxey doesn't really have to do shit on defense.
Yeah. Exactly. He'll be that bench guy. That's a good pickup for him. I like that.
Yeah. It's a good bench guy, a good veteran out there on the floor, defensive.
Patrick is hyped.
Yeah, hell yeah. He's gonna hype.
Super excited on his podcast.
Yeah.
And he loves being on those good teams and with those big guys. So good for him.
He needs to get better offensively, man. Like, come on.
Not going. He's already peaked, man. He's already what in his
at least
30s?
a 3. At least get the 3 going, bro. God damn.
It's decent. It's decent. It's good enough to. It's good enough to be in the NBA, man. He's.
Well, no, I think that's because of his defense. I think his defense is immaculate. No lie. If you see him cover people, this guy be shutting them down, bro, or not slowing them down.
Yeah, his defense is hard, and his want to win. You can't question that. On the offensive end, I feel like it is what it is.
It is. You gotta take that L. You gotta take that L.
He's good at one thing.
Yeah,
that's why he's in the NBA. So good for him, man.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see him on Philly.
Yeah, fuck Philly though.
Exactly.
Logan, you my dog.
Yeah, exactly. I love their players. Hate the Phillies. Hate the fan base.
Well, yeah, man, we're gonna keep track of this Damian Lillard situation, and hopefully he comes to our team, bro. But the top 3 teams that he's looking at is Miami, Los Angeles Clippers, and the Philadelphia 76ers as well. So hopefully he doesn't go to Philly for sure. If he goes to the Clippers, I'm gonna be heartbroken, but it's better over there than to fucking Philly, 100%.
Bruh, he needs to come to the Heat, man. He needs to be here.
Yeah, dude. No, I think he really wants to because of Bam, bro. I think that's the number one reason why Damian Lillard wants to play in.
It's the best chance to win,
bro. Yeah, no, and we just came off of fucking AFC to fucking finals, bro. That's tough, bro. And if he's watching that, and which he was, because on that podcast he was like, the team right now to look at is Miami Heat, bro. They don't have all-stars like that, but they don't give a fuck. They're out there playing their ass off. And that's what that's what he wants, bro. That's what I feel like that's what every NBA player wants. But
yeah, they want to be around those guys that really want to win. They want to be in situations like that. So, man, I could already see him hitting those shots from half court. Game time, crazy.
We gotta go to the game for sure.
Oh, I'll be there for sure. Remember that 0, that old jersey.
Yeah, hell yeah, I'm gonna buy. If he gets traded, as soon as he gets traded, and they put them shits on sale, I'm buying one quick.
Sure. Yes, sir.
Well, guys, you know what's up. You know where you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at GMike Media _ Twitter at George Mike Perez. The podcast, the audio version, is available on all podcast platforms, YouTube, and now on Rumble as well.
Yeah.
Ernie, thank you again, my dog. I'm gonna have you on because the fantasy football is coming up soon, boy.
Yeah.
And we gonna be making those videos, those hype videos. This is gonna be fun for sure.
I'll be hype, bro. I appreciate you having me on, and let's keep watching, bro. Let's see what happens.
Yes, sir. No, I appreciate you, bro. I know you're a busy guy and coming on, man. But I'll hit you up, my dog.
Anytime, homie.
Dale.